Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and our Kings. We're here with a very summery vibe Frank Warren in the little Hawaiian shirt. How are we, mate?
I'm good. How are you, Matt?
Yeah, no complaints. It's fight week. I'm sure you're happy as well. Big fight night in Ipswich. It's been one of those where I think you've had two big fight nights and the main events have fallen through and they've both been replaced with what you'd say are suitable, equal, or if not better opponents. Justis Huni steps in. A real test for Fabio Wardley. And how excited are you to see how this sort of gels on fight night?
I am, and it's not a last minute thing either. Like he's had, was it 4.5, 5 weeks?
Yeah, sorry.
So it's
Yeah.
good for him. Both. Certainly, Fabio's been able to adjust his style. I'm excited about the fight because in Justice he brings a sterling amateur background, and he's undefeated as a pro. I think he stopped 7 of his 12 opponents, so he can whack.
Hmm.
And this is a big step up for him. He's got home advantage in front of his home fans who are of coming out to support him in big numbers, which we're
Hmm.
delighted with. So the atmosphere is going to be great. A lot of pressure on him, but I think he's the sort of guy who thrives on pressure.
I'm going to say you've worked with Fabio now for a little while, but what do you make of him? Obviously, he's come from this white collar background. Everyone's talked about it forever. I saw Dev tweet about it earlier saying, back in the day he was beating Keith from accounts while Justice Huni was in the amateur scene. But it's an incredible rise and he just keeps getting better as the step ups go.
Well, that's the thing about him. He's a very intelligent guy, very articulate. I think he's a great ambassador for sport and certainly for the sport of boxing. He's done everything that's been asked of him, and he learns from fights. Like the first Frazier Clark fight, I thought he won that first fight. Not being disrespectful to Frazier, but it's a close enough fight. But the second time, having been in the ring, he learned from it, and he's one of those guys, a bit like a sponge. He absorbs the knowledge. He's got a good boxing brain, and he's a tough guy, and he can bang. He's a big puncher.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the most exciting knockouts last year. It's up there with certainly the top 3 and 4. That's for sure.
100%. It is another opportunity as well to go against your old pal Eddie Hearn. I see him put a little reshare on the story saying we lost the first one for banter. The second one will be different. Must be good for you. Obviously, you get another opportunity to put one over on him.
Well, I hope so. I've got my fingers crossed, but I hope that's going to be the case. Look, Eddie's obviously looking for revenge, and we're looking to get another 5v5 together. We keep talking about it, but we will make it happen.
I was just going to come on to that. So talks had sort of been muted. I think a few months ago, everyone was saying, yeah, we're working towards it. Talks have gone a bit quiet. What can you tell us about that? Are we going to be before the sort of back end of the year looking towards getting one
Yeah,
in?
yeah, there definitely one will happen. It needs to happen. I mean, he wants his revenge, and we want to show that we're good at what we're doing, and it'll be the same again.
Has Frank Smith done his forfeit yet, or has that not been fulfilled?
He's still dieting to get into that mage uniform.
I want to talk about just quickly Pierce O'Leary. It's a huge opportunity for him. He's often talked about having his homecoming in Dublin. I know there's a European title on offer here against the tough Liam Dillon, but an exciting fighter who's sort of, he's another one who highlight real knockouts, very good boxer, and it's a big stage for him as well.
It is. It's a step up for him, the EBU title, the European title. Listen, I've said it before to you, Matt. We've got big expectations of Pierce. I think he's one of our really good young. He's not a prospect, one of our young guys who are on the cusp of doing something big. He can fight. He can punch. He's done, as I say, he's done everything that's asked of him. I call him our Superman. When he's out the ring, he's got his bins on, his glasses on. He's our Clark Kent. As soon as they come on, bang, he's in that ring and he does the business. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in action. And if he comes through, it's going to put him. He could fight for a world title by the end of the year. Or put him with Dalton Smith. I'd do that, or as him.
Or potentially 5v5 then, potentially Dalton Smith and
Yeah,
Pierce O'Leary.
in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Are you looking to do a homecoming with Pierce? Potentially, so I'm not saying this for any disrespect. He's got a job to do, but he's often talked about wanting to go to Dublin. Is that on the cards at all?
Yeah, we're going to do a show over in Ireland. Yeah.
Magic. Another fellow who's been getting an awful lot of press, and rightly so, Moses Itauma. I've seen you on Talksport most days, and his name keeps getting cropped up. Never known someone, well, I have, but someone so young, and he's just getting put in theoretically with every fighter from Usyk to Bakole. How sort of impressed you with what's going on? And is this your job now a little bit, I don't want to say difficult because he's a brilliant fighter, but he's that young where you've almost got to like rein him in a little bit and go, look, it's a long career, step by step guide. You don't go sort of 10 steps too far. Is it a difficult process, this?
Well, when he turned pro, his ambition was to become the youngest heavyweight champion of the world, which is a great ambition to have. But I said to him, this is not a race, this is a marathon. It's not, sorry, not a 100-yard or 100-meter race. It is a marathon. It's a career. You know, most heavyweights fight well into their 30s, and he's just 20 years of age now.
Mm-hmm.
My job is my job and his manager, my son Francis, roles are to ensure that we make the right fights. No one's going to pressure us to do anything that we don't feel is right for him.
Mm-hmm.
And if people don't like it, I've got to tell you, it's too bad. You know, we're good at what we do. I like to think we know what we're doing. We get it right more times than we get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as he's concerned, he's a precocious young talent. Unbelievable skills he's got for his age. I don't just mean about the power, the punching power, the boxing skills, the composure he has. He's like sometimes it's like watching a veteran fighting.
Yeah, I saw one thing that got me about the knockout. I don't know if you'll agree. Obviously, he's got power. We know that, but the timing of the knockdowns, there was literally, split second accuracy, and it was right on the button. How impressive is that for someone so young, like to be doing that?
That's all about his composure and he's getting his distance. He doesn't crowd himself. He doesn't smother his own work like a lot of youngsters do. He keeps
Mm-hmm.
his distance. He keeps that composure. Even when he went down the last time, the American, he got up and he took the fight straight back to him, throwing shots, and Moses
Yeah.
went back on the ropes, but he kept his hands up and then he let this beautiful body shot go. He tucked this body shot in underneath and you see him drop his hands. Then he threw a shot over the American. Mike threw that shot over and he just caught that on his gloves, turned him around as he come back, boom, knocked him out.
Mm-hmm.
Threw a punch going backwards. How many fighters do you see do that and knock them out?
It was a raucous atmosphere up in Glasgow. I know they enjoyed it. Let's talk about the top of the bill just quickly. Also, Josh Taylor signed with Queensberry. Ekow Essuman, he didn't take a nobody for his first fight at welterweight. He took Ekow Essuman, and Ekow got the victory on the night. Fair credit to him. I wanted to ask you, what sort of conversations have you had with both about what the next steps are? A lot of people.
I haven't spoken with either of them because I've been on the road myself. Josh has gone on holiday with his family, needs a break, and we'll see what he says when he comes back. But whatever he wants to do, we'll support him. I think the fact he's not been a very active fighter over the last few years, I think, has been to his detriment. So we'll see. Well, when he comes back, we'll have a chat and see what's what about that. And as far as Ekow's concerned, Ekow does what he does. He's always in a competitive and good fight. I mean, last year, top three boxing news, top three domestic fights, he was in two of them. You can add him in another one now.
Yeah.
He's unfazed. He's a unbelievably. I mean, when you think of his age and the engine he's got inside him, I mean, he's got it's a real app moniker that he's got there, and he's he's just all action. He's exciting to watch.
Absolutely.
It's a great fight. It's a great card. I mean, I know we promoted, but I thought it was a really good boxing card. Some great youngsters making debuts. Youngsters coming through. Alloys, I thought, was sensational.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't win a world title, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, another explosive performance. He looks exciting, doesn't he? How quick do you want to move him then? Obviously, you mentioned if you don't win a world title, you'll be shocked. But where does he go from here? You're bouncing him into another big fight.
He's only a young fighter, and he just turned 22. I mean, when you look at it, it's crazy. But he's, I've got to be honest. A couple of fights, he could fight for a world title. He really could, and it isn't, but he could.
So young as well, so long left as well. Yeah, madness, but an incredible talent. Look, only a couple more because I know you're on a tight schedule. Want to ask you, a few weeks ago I saw a thing come out saying you'd been in discussions, had a chat with Billy Joe Saunders about a return. Anything more materialised? I think boxing's kind of like saying, oh, we've seen him at the fight, he was there causing drama, but I think people want to see him back now. Have you sort of had an update? He had his best spell of his career with yourself picking up world titles. Do we see him back?
He said he's in the gym and he's training, and that's how we left it. And he see how he goes with his training and the weight and so forth. If he wants to, he knows where I am. And as I say, we've had exploratory talks. we'll see where we go from there. But you know, there's a couple of big fights for him. There's no doubt about that.
Would you earmark that Eubank one as a possibility? Obviously, sells itself, doesn't it, with the narrative of the first one?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think that would be I think that'd be a really interesting fight.
So last one from me. Daniel Dubois in camp for Oleksandr Usyk. I was there in Poland. I was there for the whole fight week. Saw the reaction. Spoke to you after the fight. Almost felt that fight was one that just got away from all the controversy around it. Can you tell me now that this fight's here now, how excited are you to sort of get to fight week, knowing this isn't the Daniel Dubois of before? Look, has a lot of good attributes, but he's been tested. He's been to the well and back, and he's now coming off this unbelievable victory over Joshua. How sort of happy are this fight's here to sort of, in your mind, put right what went wrong?
I think he's 27 now, so it's a couple of years on. Was it 2.5 years from Poland?
Yeah.
So he's in a position now where he's had a good run. He's got a lot of confidence. His power's there, and most importantly, he's matured mentally, and he believes in himself. And I believe in him. I know I can't change the result of the last fight, but I still believe he could have won that fight. So we will see this time round. It's 7 weeks away now. It's going extremely well. We're in the 70 odd thousand tickets sold now. So there's going to be a fabulous atmosphere there. It's going to be exciting. And he can pull it off, and he can do something that no other Brit's done. That's to win the 4 belts.
Absolutely. We look forward to seeing that. We'll see you there. And we'll catch up fight week. Frank, appreciate your time. And
Pleasure, Matt.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, my son. Be good.